Well, now to our continuing focus on the Ranya Rao case. Enforcement Directorate raids linked to the gold smuggling case involving the Kannada actor were conducted in several places in Karnataka, including in Bengaluru. This even as more details from the DRI's submission before the court came to light. The DRI, in its objection to Ranya's bail plea, has revealed that she claimed to investigators that this was the first time that she smuggled gold from Dubai, and she got her instructions from a voice-over internet protocol call. She collected gold from Terminal 3 in Dubai, according to the DRI, in Terminal 3 of the Dubai airport, where the gold was handed over to her by a well-built man. Meanwhile, the Karnataka government has withdrawn a CID probe it had ordered into the case, which is being investigated by both the DRI and the CBI. Well, joining me now is my colleagues, Nihal Kidwai and Nupur Dogra, who've been following this case very closely. Nihal, first to you. Tell us what you're hearing again from the authorities. You've been keeping us posted on the DRI's submissions before the court as far as Ranya's bail plea objections are concerned.
See, tomorrow order is expected on her bail plea, but meanwhile, after DRI, the CBI had stepped in, and now the ED has taken over the investigation along with the other two agencies, and today almost 8 to 10 places ED had raided. These are the premises of Jatin Hukkeri, who is the husband of Ranya Rao, along with the friends of Ranya Rao and Jitin Hukkeri. What they have found, it has not been disclosed by any of the three agencies so far, but DRI and ED today conducted raids at several places in Bengaluru simultaneously, you can say. And meanwhile, one more change is there. The government had withdrawn the CID probe, but now the IAS officer, who is an additional chief secretary rank officer, Gaurav Gupta, he has requested for a police officer to assist him, and now a DIG rank officer has been given to him to assist him in the probe. He has to find out the role of Ramchandra Rao, the IPS officer who is the DGP housing in Karnataka, that what role he had played as far as the violation of protocol is concerned. We have also got the copy of the DRI from our sources, and there one of the protocol officials has confessed that he was given direction by this IPS officer to give protocol facilities to his daughter. It means the protocol facility was provided to Ranya Rao because of the intervention of this IPS officer.
A breach of norms, procedures, it cannot be provided that way. Thanks very much, Nihal. Remember, Ramchandra Rao is the stepfather of Ranya Rao. Nupur, what are you picking up from officials? The fact that ED has now stepped into the case, the CBI is investigating it parallelly. From what we understand, it's the DRI, ED and CBI that will really investigate the larger nexus possibly in this case. The state government's probe is purely about protocol breaches.
Yes, of course, you have rightly said it, that the state government today has in fact appointed a CID officer with the IS officer, Chief Secretary of Home, who is been given the responsibility of probing the possible role of a local police officer or any possibility of the role of in fact Ranya Rao's father, the IPS, who's also an IPS. So their role is mostly restricted to dereliction of duty inside the state, and how the protocols were how the state protocol officer created this route for Ranya Rao to smuggle gold from Dubai to India. So that investigation is limited to that. But today, what is the big development is, as my colleague Nehal rightly pointed out, that it is now the ED that has stepped in, and a money laundering angle has been, brought into the case, and it will be it becomes rather more complicated with, CBI also probing a possible corruption angle from police officers. And in fact, government servants, as they have previously claimed, that authorities have feared that there could be possibly a corruption case on parts of police officers or government servants. They are exploring that. The CBI is probing that now. ED has also stepped in and they are probing. They conducted searches today at several places, and they have now conducted these searches, and now they are exploring the possible money laundering case. And you know that PMLA has more stringent
Right.
criteria for getting bail. For now, Ranya has only applied. Tomorrow, even if the order comes out, it would be on the corruption charges or the smuggling charges. Money laundering charges are different, and she even if she gets bail
Right.
tomorrow, she might have to freshly apply for another bail if money laundering angle is made out.
That's right. Those are separate charges that will be filed against Ranya. But thanks very much there, Nupur Dogra, as well as Nihal Kidwai, who've been following every twist and turn in this case, which seems to have wider ramifications, implications, and questions raised around it. So joining me this evening are three former IPS officers who've had an illustrious career, Sanjay Sahai as well as Mr. A.K. Jain. In a bit, we will be joined by Nirmal Kaur as well. But Sanjay Sahai, you've been following this case very closely. The DRI has argued that there are national security ramifications, implications as far as this case. There are possibilities of Hawala networks that's being probed into. And the sheer fact that the quantity of gold that's been brought in from Dubai, despite checks and balances that exist in the system, should have left the authorities shocked by the scale of it.
Authorities, I think the shock is not getting reflected in the nature of reaction and the pace of reaction or pace of investigation. Having said that, let's be very clear about the fact that a crime of this nature is more concerning primarily on financial security, airport security infrastructure, and the possible links with organized crime and external, lots of combinations of external factors. So where we are stuck up today is that the gold smuggling and terror financing links are there. It is a well accepted link, as in the manner with drug trade is there, in the very same manner. We have the gold smuggling and terror financing link, and it's connected with organized crime. What is even more intriguing is that there has been a breach in the airport security infrastructure. And that breach has happened because of your compromising of primarily the protocol services, and he has been able to get out of the whole system. That being as it stands, it can be for any reason. But that reason kept aside, the impact is on the national security issues. And it can be gold today, it could have been it could have been drugs, it can be anything. So that is point number two. Point number three is that it is happening through insider threat. What we call in our security language is the insider threat, and insider threat is leading to compromise of national security infrastructure. Next, we come to the customs and border control. Now, customs has an advanced passenger information system. Does it take 30 trips of this nature for that particular passenger information system to throw off something which is worthwhile, which is actionable, and on which the things can be drawn upon and taken forward? Weaknesses in customs and border control, it is primarily one of the major reasons where people are able to move in, and people are able to take action of the nature which they do. Potential leads to international crime syndicates. International crime syndicates, and whatever, if you go even a bit by whatever confession or whatever statement has been given by Ranya Rao, that in Dubai somebody came after the security controls and handed over the gold and things of that nature. If that were to be believed with any iota of truth, it certainly means that there is a big international syndicate which is working as a part of this whole exercise.
Important points that you're raising, important issues that you're raising, multiple questions. Mr. A.K. Jain, there are several questions to be raised in this matter, both small in terms of protocol, because some of these protocol breaches, as Sanjay Sahai is pointing out, could lead to insider threat, intentionally or unintentionally, to something of this nature. What would be the prime focus areas for you as far as this investigation is concerned?
He said on certain channels that this is breach of national security. Hawala transactions are there. How this money reached Dubai? Money reached Dubai through Hawala transactions. So it means, and she has visited 27 times. I don't know why she was not on the radar of customs or DRI. She should have been, because why is she traveling so frequently to Dubai? And naturally, this is not the first time she has brought the gold like this. So Hawala transactions are going on, and so much of money. And the way she has brought gold, it is absolutely clear that security at Dubai airport is also compromised, and she has been supported by some cartel. And now name of some guru is coming up, some religious person based at Dubai, that he is also involved in it. Name of two ministers of Karnataka government, they are also cropping up. So it's a very, very serious issue. And DRI has done its job. But now CBI and ED, especially ED, should step in, and sections of PMLA, especially Section 6, etc., should be invoked, and action should be taken, because getting bail in PMLA will be very, very difficult, and all the properties which she has in which she has invested money or she has bought, they can all be seized under PMLA, because PMLA powers are very wide. So action should be taken, and as Mr. Sahai is saying, that this probe should be taken more seriously. I don't know why CID probe has been withdrawn. The state government will answer to that. But action should be taken against protocol people also at Bengaluru airport, that they used to escort this lady out of airport. This time she was caught because they had definite intelligence. It's not a small smuggling racket, and very, very stern action should be taken against the entire group, against the entire cartel.
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't think there's any counter view to that. Stern action should be taken. The state government's thinking is that given that the CBI, ED and the DRI are investigating the case, there is no need for a CID inquiry or investigation, but they have the additional chief secretary who has asked for an IPS officer to investigate the protocol breaches as far as the stepfather of the accused is concerned. But Sanjay Sahai, just to put this in a nutshell, to those who don't understand, how do you bring the Hawala link into this? Just explain this. Here is a person who goes to Dubai, brings back gold which is of enormous quantity. She claims to the DRI, this is the first time she's done it. She got instructions from a voice over internet call.
Virago, can you be a little louder?
What could this spin off very quickly?
Can you put a...
No, just explain the
louder?
Hawala network and the connections into this, please.
See, there are two types of trail which we need to understand. So one is the trail of the gold, of the yellow metal, and the second is the trail of the money. So if you are picking up 1450 kgs of gold from Dubai, there will be somebody who will be picking up that gold. And for that particular gold, some transaction would be happening. Whether Ranya Rao was doing the transaction or somebody else in India was doing the transaction, or whichever
That's first part. The second part? The second part, sir?
Oh, you please repeat.
No, the second part. You said two parts. I have just 30 seconds left. The second part of
Yeah. So see, that transaction needs to happen. Now the transaction is happening through which all channels? Whether it is happening through crypto, whether it is happening through some different transaction. So there can be a variety of ways, and there are couple of transactions which you can lay your hands on, and still there are a couple of transactions which you find very difficult to lay your hands on. So it can be through normal Hawala transaction, it can be through cryptocurrency, and there can be any number of other ways also. But primarily, Hawala transaction is there. In which manner, in which modality, that is a different issue altogether.
Absolutely. Multiple questions that you're raising there. Thanks very much there, Sanjay Sahai, as well as AK Jain, for joining us.